When I speak to Paul Keung, he is TAOMEE'S Chief Finance Officer. Paul Keung, thank you very much indeed for joining us. First of all, I'd just like to ask you, what was behind the slight drop back here?
I wouldn't call it a drop back at all. We actually had a very exciting quarter. In the quarter, we grew our revenues over 23% year on year. We also, in the quarter, we launched our first set of TV animation with very strong audience ratings. That's the Mole's World Animation. Also, in this last month, we have 2 movies that are out. Both movies did very well at the box office.
Okay, well, active accounts, though, with you actually fell something like 12% to 24 million in the first quarter. How does that play out when we look at your balance sheet?
Again, it's not balance related, it's active accounts. It's the number of engaged accounts on our platform. It will always drop from Q1 to Q2. That's because of the school holiday in China. If you know, the winter holiday occurs in the first quarter. What the result of that is, for most school districts across China, the number of non-school days is about 35 to 40% less in the second quarter versus the first quarter. And on virtually all of our users are either in elementary school or middle school. So you'll see a natural drop, usually in the second quarter and fourth quarter of a year.
So investors shouldn't be concerned about it?
I think we did our IPO in June. We disclosures, everything's there. We're very open about our business. It's very seasonal because it's essentially elementary, middle school students. In the second and fourth quarter, you see down quarters. Our business, however, is still going year to year, and it will continue to go year to year long term. I think one thing that's we're very proud of this quarter, you saw an acceleration in the growth of our offline business. So clearly our brands are really taking hold. In addition to success on TV and film, we've been very successful with KFC and General Mills, a number of other major partners in the licensing side.
All right. Well, you've also put out a guidance, I believe, for the third quarter today as well. You're looking at something like third quarter revenue to increase 3 to 5% here. What are going to be the key drivers?
Right. Revenues go about 18 to 20% year on year in the third quarter, in that range, 3 to 5% sequentially. Key drivers are we're going to see continued growth and acceleration growth in our offline licensing business. You'll see some contribution for the first time from the film business, which we did very well at the box office with our first film, Seer, which was released on July 28th. You also see continued growth in our user growth on the online side.
But I believe that you're going to see some earnings decline sequentially because of advertising revenue drop off and more hiring in the plans as well, right?
Our revenues doesn't have advertising. It's largely a component of about 90% of revenues comes from the online side. That's children engaged in buying subscriptions to go into our online virtual worlds. The remaining revenues come from licensing of books, merchandise, and box office film receipts. That business is growing healthy, as I mentioned, 18-20% there. In terms of investment, you'll see our net income decline in the second half of the year versus the first half of the year sequentially, and that's really a function of we're investing in our business. What we're doing this year is we'll increase the headcount by 150 people from the end of last quarter. We'll also be increasing our animation production costs, so you'll see it's twice as many TV episodes next year than we've had historically in the past. We've also launched a new division that's been up and running for about 6 months now. We're launching a lot of mobile, social games and applications for our children's audience.
Paul Keung, I want to just ask you about your movie, your second animated movie, fully animated movie, Legend of the Moles, the Frozen Horror. What was it all about?
It's actually a very wholesome, very fun story. It's I think, very popular franchise already. With children in elementary school and in kindergarten. I would liken it to me growing up to seeing some of the more wholesome content where I grew up in terms of just a community of moles that have a challenge and they work together and they overcome those challenges. It's very popular today with kids, and I think parents also love it. This weekend, despite the fact that you have Transformers, Smurfs, Harry Potter, we were one of the top 5 films in the box office this weekend. Both of our films, we're very proud to say, have been among the top most successful domestically produced films in China for animation.
Paul Keung, thank you so much for joining us there. He's the Chief Finance Officer of TAOMEE, just going through the latest movie they released over the weekend and indeed looking at their forecast ahead as well.